We are live, live, live. How's everyone doing? This is my work with me stream. Just move some windows around. Make it a little bit easier on the eyes. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Okay, let's go. Hopefully everyone's doing well. What is this stream? So this stream is me doing my work. I am a co-founder at Beacon DeFi. We are a DeFi education and onboarding company. We help everyday people get into decentralized finance as competent and confident investors in the blockchain. This is something that interests you, please reach out. Always happy to talk and see if maybe we're fit to work together. So that's basically what we do. We have a free group as well as a paid group. That's at beacondefi.x, beacondefi.io. XYZ also works, just to keep in tune with, the good old Web3. So what I do here is I put together a newsletter for our mastermind members. It goes out every Monday, along with some of the things that goes out later in the week. But we're looking for relative news that's interesting in the world of decentralized finance and blockchain and ecosystem Web3. And I'll talk about it because I'm the DeFi professor. There's now 48 new Bitcoin treasuries in the last 3 months. All right, I'll grab that. That's good. I don't know what they are, so don't ask because I don't know. You can find out, though. Go to cryptotreasuries.app. Let's look at the market real quick. I haven't really looked. I've been super, super busy this morning. We're not at 110 again on Bitcoin, are we? We are up at 110. My goodness. Looks like we were down a bit, too. Gold took a big smack in the face. There was like a finding that they had found a new gold deposit that's like the largest find in history, which caused that'll cause gold to go down in a hurry. Kenya signs a virtual asset bill into law, ushering a new era for Bitcoin and crypto regulations. Congrats to them. All right, so this is going to be interesting news for a lot of people that are into Echo or Sonar. I mean, it's really a matter of there are multiple ways to be in early on Mega ETH, right? If you come in here on this raise, which I think is their second raise, because I think they did one earlier. Yeah, they did 10 million in Echo on 2024. So I want to say that you have to be, I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know if you need to be accredited, which means either $1 million in assets, you make make more than $200,000 to $300,000 per year. It has to be notarized by a CPA for that type of stuff. Generally, when you have to provide proof, or the 1 million in liquid assets. So, just curious to see what this looks like. So between the 15th and then by next Monday, if you're interested here. Ha. Potential offering, right? So something to think about. If that's something you're interested in. Mega ETH, for those who don't know, is a very high throughput in terms of transactions per second version of Ethereum. The idea is that they're going to be so fast it's considered live streaming Ethereum. Most likely not at the prices of general Ethereum gas, but we'll see exactly. If you own a Mega ETH Bunnies NFT, there's a couple different ways to go about it. There's some ways to possibly get some decent deals here. So would I go for the ICO? Maybe. Would I rather get a Mega ETH Bunny? Yeah, probably, because that's going to go up for sure as time goes on. So you may want to go check out OpenSea and check out the bunnies for that. And shout out to all the Mega ETH Bunny holders that are out there. Coinbase invests in CoinDCX. Good for them. Is that a FedEx logo ripoff? Snorterbot token presale ends in 5 days. I don't use Snorterbot. Presales at 10 cents a token. And of course, it's listing on major exchanges. Okay, so it is a Solana bot that uses Telegram. That's fine. Snorter can detect liquidity injections in real time and position traders ahead of major market moves. I mean, I'd have to see it. Okay, so if it's built natively on Solana, I mean, is this any different than BonkBot? I'm assuming the team at BonkBot has access to the exact same technology that Snort would. But they're raising money, right? Ooh. Anyway. Not a ton of people in my circles are talking about Snort, to be quite honest. Some maybe we're missing out. Let me know in the comments if this is something you're in, because and you can stake Snort for up to 108%. There's that. So I'm not going to turn the music on. I was actually so I'm going to be taking a lot of clips that I do and putting them on my Zora. For those who would like to support, please consider getting in on on the Zora. And my handle on there is the DeFi Professor. Feel free to buy while it's still cheap. Basically, I'll be doing a lot of, you know, terms. I'll have some guides on here. Once live streaming is open to me, I will start to do some live streams on there. I do have some plans specifically for what I'm doing here with my personal stuff. So feel free to buy some coin while it's still super duper cheap, to be honest. Also, some announcements on my streaming coin. I do have two. You know, it is what it is. I have one through base that was through retake. Retake is now changing it, so it's going to be on retake, which is fine. Thank you for the support from retake. We'll be doing a launch on it soon, so there'll be a snapshot taken. So if you want to buy that, that link is in. If you're watching on Twitter, it's available on the tweet for for the live stream for this. I do have a lot of plans for it. Obviously, I'm trying to work in my company Beacon DeFi and all of that, but I do have some personal things I can certainly consider. I'm working on quite a few little research things specifically just for holders of the token. Maybe creating some token gated access things. Definitely have a lot of things planned for the next quarter for sure. So looking to do a lot of things there while still weaving in a lot of the great content that we have at Beacon DeFi. So if you're interested, of course, I'm not trying to shell, just here, just if you want to support, that's the easiest way to support. Okay. Solana becomes a liquidity hub as USDT0, XAUT0 bring Omnichain. So basically, Omnichain Tether is now on Solana along with Omnichain Tether Gold. A lot of this is made possible thanks to Basis Canonical Bridge as well as a cross now eligible to get to Solana, Hyper EVM, and Plasma. I think are the three that are the latest via Legacy Mesh. Oh, it's on top of Layer 0. Okay, so it's an OFT, Omni Fungible Token. Cool. We'll grab that. Why is this 5 days old? Good God. My apologies, guys. Crazy. What I thought it refreshed the page. That's clearly from 5 days ago. Let's redo this now. But those are things within the 7-day period, so they're things to consider. But yeah, big things this week. Meteora, TGE, that airdrop happens on Thursday. Congrats to everybody who has been grinding out a lot of Meteora coins, specifically the LP Army. Shout out to those guys. Man, they cooked some serious money on that. Yeah. It pays to be in a good cult, guys. Okay, so let's look. Oh, another SPAC deal. Ripple Link Evernorth. 1 billion SPAC deal at purchasing XRP. Gotta love these little SPACs, right? Merging with another corporation to do the reverse merger and get all this money to buy XRP. I mean, they're looking to move a lot of stuff, right? I mean, even with that last announcement that there's been 48 BTC digital treasury asset companies created in the last 3 months, that's nuts. I mean, that just tells you that there's a lot of institutions, a lot of enterprises, a lot of VC money really doubling down on crypto. So again, if you think that crypto is not exactly where you want to be, it's exactly where you want to be. There's a lot of things happening, and this quarter specifically in Q1 2026 is going to be instrumental in building up a bag that's going to go straight up, especially once May 2026 happens. So get prepared now, and you'll be good then. Let's see if the ETH BTC ratio breaks through 0.87 resistance. Look out for 5K ETH. I mean, he's not wrong, but shit like this, AWS web outage. There's things that fix this, right? DeFi infrastructure fixes a lot of this, right? Choosing different providers fixes a lot of this. I know that Google's really made some inroads to really just fix a lot of this, right? And then you have decentralized projects like Shoots, for example, from BitTensor, meant to disrupt the service. And they're doing it. So it's all just a matter of figuring out why Amazon keeps having issues. I mean, this is not the first time they've had this. It just so happens that there's a lot of people who are tied into that Northern Virginia area. I don't know. It is what it is. Quantum computing is the biggest risk to Bitcoin. They've already kind of solved that, have they not? Or at least how to mitigate. Of course, Bitminer immersion bought 800 million more of Ether, 13 billion in ETH holdings. Are you not entertained by all of this manipulation? Man, the last 2 weeks have just been stupid. Absolutely stupid. All right, so it looks like Toli is creating a perp dex on Solana called Percolator. That's fine. Hopefully it works well. I mean, you already got a good dex there in both Zeta markets as well as Drift. So I guess competition's good. Got that. Oh yeah, this was some interesting news. OpenSea has now pushed the token launch back to Q1 of 2026. Any day now, right? Any year now, OpenSea will do a token. But they have a buyback pledge. So, you know, I was expecting Q4 to be a really great airdrop season. You know, it's definitely with Meteora, but hopefully MetaMask and OpenSea, and well, we'll see. Bolivia's new president backs blockchain to tackle government corruption. I would hope so. This is the way, as we like to say. I'll grab that. Some decent news over the weekend. Not a ton. Oh no. Floki surges. Does he really have it? Did he always have a dog called Floki? No. The man knows his memes. A new Coinbase institutional research report reveals that 67% of institutional investors anticipates a major Bitcoin rally within the next 3 to 6 months heading into 2026. Okay. If you believe that's news. This is not surprising. Bitcoin mining profitability declined more than 7% in September. Well, yes, because people went panic sell crazy, right? For most, I want to say for the majority of existing miners, they just had to be at 78K Bitcoin to start being in decent profit. So they're definitely in decent profit. It's really more, I think, for new people who got in. Hard to say. So Gemini now has a Solana themed card. There's an XRP, a Bitcoin, and now a Solana themed card. How is it that one? You would think they'd have very similar hair. Maybe one got, obviously, I'm not trying to assassinate the character, but clearly one of them has gotten some hair treatment and one of them has not. But this is a good way to determine on who's Cameron and who's Tyler, right? I guess that's part of it. All right, BNB back up on the rise. I did not look to see what BNB was at today. BNB is back close to 1100. That's good to see. They're still ahead of XRP and Solana market cap, so that's good to see. Did anybody get any BNB on this dip? Probably a good idea. Citi sees stablecoins powering crypto's next growth phase. Appreciate you, Citi. My phone just went off because S thought I said city, not C. So I'm not trying to get it. I'm not trying to have anybody else's stuff go off. XRP price target is $3 as whale wallet counts hit new all-time highs. Should we talk about this XRP maxis? I mean, I don't know what to think about this statement. XRP price must first break the $2.59 resistance for a chance to regain $3. That's a key takeaway, by the way. Just in case you didn't realize. In order to get $3, they got to break through $2.59. Looks like record highs of whale wallet addresses. That's good. There's that. Yeah, there we are. Could be because there's also a sharp decrease in XRP supply on centralized exchanges. Well, let's hope. Let's hope that there's a good rally on XRP. Everyone's got to eat the table, right? VanEck files for a Lido staked ETH ETF. That would be STETH. Interesting. Grok DeepSeek outperformed ChatGPT Gemini with epic crypto market long. What the hell does that even mean? Oh, okay. So they've got like a trading competition between different AI platforms. And apparently Grok was able to identify that there is a crypto market bottom first and switch to a leveraged long position. There we go. Friends at Turtle, shout out to Luis, shout out to Angelica at Turtle. Good to see. They're a rewards aggregator, basically. Help protocols get more liquidity by bringing in incentives. Hong Kong moves forward with stablecoins while Beijing signals concern. This will be interesting to see exactly what happens here. Overall, crypto is still banned in China, but Hong Kong is different. Hong Kong is a special economic safety zone, so there are a lot of things that you can't do in China that you can do in Hong Kong, and certain crypto things is one of them. And yeah, we'll see exactly what happens here, but I'll be curious to see. I mean, they've already had a programmable CBDC, the digital renminbi, RMB. Chainlink jumps 14%. Oh, because of the crash. Yep. So the AW knocks Coinbase mobile app offline. Robinhood disrupted. Get your stuff together, Amazon. Trenchers are dying in these streets. Hopefully that wakes people up to start using more decentralized things that don't rely on market leaders like Amazon. Elapal hardware wallet hacked. Ooh. Wow. The victim appears inexperienced to provide insufficient details on how the wallet became compromised beyond confirming user error. Well, I mean, this is the reason why we do a lot of content on security, on wallet security. If it's a cold wallet, why would you? Hmm. They believe they're using Elapal's cold wallet when actually operating a hot wallet. Yeah. He frequently observes Coinbase support impersonation scams where victims transfer funds from exchange accounts to compromised wallets after social engineering, with some layers saying they didn't understand the difference. This is a problem, and this is why you should watch my content. Stop doing that. The victim struggled to quickly contact U.S. law enforcement about what are they going to do? Yeah, few agencies possess the qualifications to handle such cases. Yes. Okay. So we talked about this last week, right? Not on here, but on our Beat the Banks. Not a, we did actually on our honor with Beacon last Tuesday. We talked a little bit more about this specific, or 2 weeks ago, specific with regards to security. Yes, self custody and DeFi, according to SEC Chair Paul Atkins, are ingrained in the fabric of the rights of every American. Self custody means your keys, your crypto, but it also means your security and your responsibility to keep that safe. Nobody's else's but yours. Please do not put yourself in weird danger by doing weird things like this. Always have walls up. Security is meant to be difficult, it's meant to be annoying because it stops regular people and attackers from getting to you. Now, thankfully, with a lot of stuff we talk about, the one thing that bad actors are looking for are people who are ill prepared and uneducated. And nobody in my content is going to be either. So please go and get educated. It is important that you do. When you look up and suddenly you have lost 6 figures in a wallet that you never should have had 6 figures in a wallet for anyway, that's not good. If you have profits off of like say you're trenching and you suddenly have a lot of profits, move that to a different wallet, guys. Separate out your profit taking schemes, please. And take your profits, put them in stable coins, start farming them so you continue to make income passively while you wait for the inevitable round tripping that you most likely will do. And I mean that in the nicest way possible because I've been there too. Hmm. So Huiyuan acts as an escrow provider for merchants offering money laundering services. Oh, good. I'm so happy this is available. Uh, ah, man, that's just gross. I mean, this is clearly not a good. This is not a good optic for crypto because you get people like Elizabeth Warren saying that all crypto is used for is trafficking and illegal things. Well, this doesn't help. I mean, I'll say this, but unfortunately, there are people who know how to manipulate the system. Oh, Vitalik introduces GKR protocol. It's a new cryptographic technique that significantly accelerates blockchain verification. The protocol allows computers to prove complex calculations are correct without revealing the actual data, a process known as zero-knowledge proofs. That is correct. That is how ZK proofs work. Oh, so he has a new blog post. I will grab the blog post because that is important. And again, this is for super nerds, but he had his GKR implementation is for providing Poseidon hashes. Yeah, if you want to have your face melted, feel free to read Vitalik's latest blog entry. I mean, I'm smart, but I'm not this, whatever this is. Dear God. Oh, this looks good. Now, the best part will be working with third. So, just to kind of get out of the weeds get 1 foot in, 1 foot out. The way that zero knowledge proofs are going to be successful is to find a way to do them faster and cheaper. Because the thing about zero knowledge proofs is that yes, it's a mathematical proof saying that this is a phone, right? You don't have to worry if it actually is a phone. Here's a mathematical proof proving that it is, certifying that it is. You can take this mathematical proof, solve it. That is the proof needed. That's how that kind of works in a ZK environment. We take a mathematical equation as authenticity verification. That's kind of the trust me bro you're dealing with ZK proofs. Now, this is a response to what has been long-standing on Arbitrum and Optimism style L2 rollups, where they have what are called optimistic rollups, where they can settle everything and say, yes, this is all good. And then you have a 7-day challenge period where you can just go and challenge anything you want, saying, I don't know if that's really true. You've got 7 days to do that. I honestly can't think of the last time I've heard about someone actually actively challenging. I'm sure it happens. I don't hear about them, but I'm sure it happens. But ZK proofs take away, they take that away immediately, right? You can say here that you are per the system, as long as it's following all the parameters, here's a mathematical equation with this prover, and you can just prove it right here and there, saying that this contains no alcohol. Crude example, but that's the idea. You have a block full of ledger transactions that have been approved, and then it's all off to the races. But what that does is it offers, for the most part, instant finality and instant settlement. Now, I believe the rule is still 24 hours just to kind of give people time, but because it does require more compute to handle all this, transactions on ZK chains are more expensive. Go check out Linea if you don't believe me. It'll get cheaper, I'm sure. But now that we have third-party provers, groups like Succinct, for example, offering stuff like that, and now technology like this, the idea is, even with companies like StarkNet and just new technologies that are coming out there, the ability to provide cheaper zero-knowledge proof processing, I think, will be very important moving forward for a lot of blockchains looking both for scalability as well as speed of transactions to have the best overall experience. So that's the one thing that I'm very excited about this for. Anything that we can do to make the experience for people trying to get through a transaction on an EVM blockchain easier is good. And I say that because even though EIP 7702 is out, there are still a ton of protocols who are not in on it yet. But they will be. It'll just take some time. But once that happens, we'll have faster transactions because you won't have an approval and an execution step anymore. It'll all just be in one step. And then at that point, Well, that'll make gas cheaper, but after that, making it faster with zero knowledge proofs, which will be the ultimate, I think, key to scalability once we can take that challenge period off of what's going on with optimistic rollups. I mean, it's interesting that this is going to be the way, right? After several years of politicking, but this is always, I guess, the way it was supposed to go. 88% of crypto airdrops flop. I have thoughts. I'm not going to really go into it too much. Just know that, and I say this, right, and I say this as someone who does airdrop farming, not hardcore, only because I've had my heart broken a few times, and I say that fairly tongue in cheek. One thing you guys have to understand is that these companies owe you nothing when it comes to airdrops. Airdrops are glorified pre-sales. They're just handing you liquid tokens in exchange for your time, your money, and mostly your time. Because you could sit here and just, pop in 2Gs, come back in 6 months and come to a decent payday, right? But it all depends on A, are people holding the token and not selling? And B, is there real utility in what's happening? Or is there going to be movement on that token to continue the movement upwards? Because you got in early with airdrop token. I mean, I just want to say, if you still hold the wormhole airdrop, hoping they're coming back, I'd like to shake your hand. There's a lot of these airdrops that you're just like, that's an interesting number, 88%. It's a very specific number. Mr. Wonderful saying AI can't get you Starbucks, but it could with blockchain. What the hell does that even mean, Kevin? Oh, I see. This is about payment settlement with stuff like ZK proofs and blockchain-based, we'll call them blinks, blockchain links that allow you to, from your mobile device, even possibly from a card that you just tap, it then calls a back end and just pulls the money from an address on a blockchain as opposed to like a fiat bank account. I mean, this is going to be the way. Absolutely. And what's great about that is because it's being done on a blockchain, you could have a smart contract that can do multiple things, right? Then that's the reason why Polygon had the amazing BD year of 2022, where they had Disney, Starbucks. I can name like 3 or 4 of the companies that are on the tip of my tongue right now that were with them in an NFT loyalty type of way to help bring blockchain to the forefront. Well, that didn't exactly happen, but the tech is there now to have that happen. Trump insider who scored $160 million in BTC route opens a $76 million short, $1 million short on Bitcoin at 10x leverage. This is from last night. I did see that. I mean, that's quite the price to get liquidated at. I guess it's good for perp dexes. Stablecoin's $1 peg is a misconception, says the New York Department of IG. Instagram? I'll find it later. I mean, I'm sure it's misunderstood by a ton of people. They don't think that it's hard to, yeah, stablecoin value is fixed to the value of $1 or some type of fixed currency, because there are like stablecoins to the euro, to the yen, and other world currencies. But yeah, to say that it holds peg at $1, that is a misconception. I mean, USDT is regularly below $1. Currently, USDAI, that's a really well-regarded stablecoin right now. It's like way over peg. When Liquidity first came out, that was a stablecoin that was created by minting either BTC or ETH. That was LUSD. That was way over peg, based on the collateral ratio that you had. So, yeah, it's nice to think that they're going to stick around $1, but that's kind of the beauty of the fact that so many of them aren't exactly at $1, because now you have really good arbitrage opportunities in multiple directions. Elio Wave Expert says, sure. Agreed. Don't sleep on agentic finance. That just looks wrong. What is that? Oh no. Cointelegraph. That is just ew. I don't mean that in a crazy way, but an AI agent is like giving somebody sleeping face down a behind massage. Huh. First off, this person has a lot of hair, so in today's bald meta, that's just not going to work for me, brother. But yeah, DeFi, which is DEFAI, with agentic finance, is going to be huge. I've been calling that for months. All right, we're getting close to. This normally runs for like 90 minutes. We're getting close to that last half hour, so we will kind of go through here. Really? Hyperliquid down to $28? That would be an amazing entry, by the way. 37.80? I mean, hype below $30 is a unbelievable entry. Bitcoin holding institutions are seeking yield and DeFi capabilities. Rootstock launches institutional Bitcoin DeFi. Shout out to the team at Rootstock. I've met with them multiple times. Great group of people. L1 is the new battleground, and the playing field isn't even. What does that mean? Cointelegraph. Okay. And I've said this before about tempo. I mean, this is exactly what they needed. Yes, they bought Bridge. Yes, they bought Privy, but they need an actual home where a lot of this can be stored. So it absolutely makes sense that they're building tempo. Could they have bet and gone in with Ethereum? Sure. But the fact that they're doing this as an independent movement shouldn't be shocking to anybody in terms of what they're looking to do, because they're looking to own payments, period. I mean, I would be shocked if Tempo's not open to regular investors, kind of like a certain Oracle company that I know pretty well has a full Solana chain. They literally forked Solana for their own layer one that's just used for infrastructure. This should not be shocking to anybody. They needed this, honestly. Yeah, and it just says it right here, from permissionless to permissioned. Yeah, I would not be shocked if this is a private permissioned blockchain where Stripe has all the controls. Will there be some protocols on there for specific liquidity management? Maybe, maybe. If they offered like decentralized operators, where certain people can go with funds and do intent based activities and earn yield, or even manage a bunch of agentic moves like that, they just have to put liquidity. Yeah, that would be something I could definitely see a lot of people I know doing. Yeah, and okay, so this is once I was just trying to figure out why isn't it a level playing. Yes, of course. Stripe, Coinbase, Robinhood. Yes, it's great that we're seeing all of these big names here in the space, but does it come at the cost of innovation for small founders? Yes, of course it does. Why? Because none of us have the distribution that Stripe or Coinbase does. We don't have the billion-dollar resources like they do. For us as crypto native founders, we're out here just hoping that people use our product and have good things to say about it. And maybe for some founders, they're looking to get acquired based on the tech that they put together. Other people are here to be more tentpole like, more pillar like, hoping that they can build a brand and a community that will keep them in this race for as long as humanly possible. Um, and I do hope there's more of those crypto native founders, not the type that are trying to get hired. While it's great, obviously, money wise, to make a bunch of money and exit, be an exit founder, more than once, you're never going to be able to compete with Stripe or Coinbase. And to be fair, neither one of these guys are really trying to. Okay, I can't say they're not trying to innovate. They are, but let's be honest, they acquire a lot of the things they innovate, right? That was just that was just me waxing poetic for 10 minutes. Huobi founder Li Lin raises 1 billion with partners to accumulate. Okay, so Anith Datko, a lot of that. Mm. Bitcoin's most trouble is banks are stressed and yields are puking. Not really. All the yields that we play in are great. If anything, this has been one of the best years for yields ever. Okay, so blue carpet program. Oh, okay. The Coinbase Dex, which is in app on the phone, you get access to what's on Aerodrome and a couple other things. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Ondo finance to SEC. Hold off on Nasdaq's tokenized securities plan. Why? Ah, okay. Yeah, it's not news. Okay, this could be news. Let's see how this works. Using native Bitcoin and DeFi lending as BNB chain and Hyperliquid post major updates. All right, so Babylon Labs co-founder, I'm assuming his last name is pronounced Say, allows native Bitcoin to be used trustlessly as collateral for loans on Ethereum. I got to see how this looks. Trustless Bitcoin wallets Lock or claim BTC. All right, so they're going to be minting a token to mimic the native BTC within smart contracts. Oh, portion of protocol fees all go to Babylon or baby stakers. This is an interesting idea. I'd like to see it in action. I will tell you, because I went to Bitcoin Vegas this year. I still have plans to hopefully make it to Bitcoin Mina in Dubai at the end of the year. Hopefully. It's around my birthday. That'd be a great birthday present. But as much as teams are working hard to bring really great things to market, shout out to On-Chain Monkey, shout out to Arch Network, shout out to Hermetica and other groups like them. We're unfortunately in a situation where, yes, you can build all these services, but Bitcoin holders don't necessarily want to lose their Bitcoin. They don't even want to use their Bitcoin. I'm like looking at people who go and spend their Bitcoin at Steak and Shake. Why? Just get the Coinbase Amex and earn 4% back in BTC on your purchases rather than using that at Steak and Shake. It's a cool idea, but the majority of people that at least I talk to, don't want to do two things: A, lose any Bitcoin; B, lose any XRP. Everything else is a bit of a wash because those assets work for them. Those two don't. But yeah, I mean, so I love the Babylon project. I like what they're doing. It's all a matter of can they execute along with the partners, right? Because ultimately the way Babylon started was it was liquid staking for Bitcoin, where you staked your native Bitcoin chain agnostic in their platform. And then you receive, depending on which operator you were with, you received a liquid stake token from it. It's a composable asset, so you can take it and make it as collateral or farm it at other places, but your Bitcoin is safe. It's locked in there. And they use it to help with the consensus and security of the network, because Bitcoin security is great, right? Proof of work mining and all that type of stuff. They're actually selling that stuff to layer twos and proof of stake networks that really want that security. That was the original idea for Babylon. Then they created their own layer one to help really be a backbone for all of this. That's fine. They have that baby token for it. And this could be a way to provide additional methods of having your native Bitcoin work for you. With that said, there are multiple ways to do it now. You can go to somewhere like Rootstock, use their two-way peg where you lock in your native Bitcoin into their power peg pool, earn on that, and then receive an equivalent amount of, I believe it's RSBTC. Don't quote me on that. Which you can then use in the Rootstock blockchain to do yield farming, put up as collateral, borrow stablecoins, farm those. You know, they have things to do that. That's one way. There's also Stacks. Stacks actually writes their blocks directly onto layer one Bitcoin, thanks to their anchoring and packaging system for their blockchain, because people want fast blockchains. Like, for example, Ethereum mainnet's like between 10 and 13 seconds for finality. Block times on Bitcoin layer one is 6 to 10 minutes. Minutes, not seconds, not 250 milliseconds like Solana and Base. Minutes. So there's a strategy here, right? So you can actually use your BTC, like with Hermetica, you can lock in BTC and earn in excess, they say, between 6 and 25% just for holding it, right? It's all just a matter of understanding the options and how to get into them. It's not as easy as it used to be. I mean, it's a lot. There used to be nothing. Now there's options, but it's not the easiest thing to get into. So until they can make that process easy, like literally just do this and do this, like Coinbase has done a decent job, right? you can deposit your BTC and borrow USDC with it. You can take that and put it into the Base app. You can actually take it down to DeFi. The loans on Bitcoin on Coinbase.com actually come from layer 2. They come from Morpho and Moonwell. So if you want to do it yourself, go to Coinbase, withdraw some BTC down to Base. You'll receive the BTC you have as CBBTC. You can then farm with it, put up collateral, borrow against it, do fun things. Anyway, let's move on. And thanks to everybody who's here. Appreciate people wanting to work with me. Hopefully you're working along with me. If not, just doing anything. If you want to support, of course, you can go buy the tokens either at Zora, which is at the DeFi Professor. Nobody's bought yet, but oh well. They will come. Got a lot of things planned. And then, of course, my token on retake. We have some plans. We're going to be launching a new version of my token on retake. Which will require a snapshot of holders. So if you want to buy now, for when it gets relaunched, I don't know the exact date, still talking, but soon. H-bar slides 11%. Nasty. Arthur Hayes preparing a $250 million. That was the news up here with Maelstrom. Yeah, to acquire crypto firms. I mean, Arthur, if you want to offer something for Beacon, I'll talk to you. Then I become an exit founder. DeFi education is important, ladies and gentlemen. Tell your favorite protocol that DeFi education is important. We want to work with all of them. We work with many already. Nothing amazing here to go through. We'll head up on Google News. We will research on crypto. India bans crypto talk at world's largest fintech summit. Okay. Crypto treasury companies are the new SPACs. Yep, we were just talking about that. Crypto markets don't sleep. Safety should neither. Something we talk about all the time. How CNN tied multiple fraud reports to one single crypto. Yeah, guys, don't use this shit. It's a great little scheme. If you want to put a Bitcoin ATM at your local QT or 7-Eleven, don't use them. The fees on them are stupid. Not worth it. Please don't do that. Better off getting a miner. Uh-oh. Crypto miners riding the AI wave. I'm not going to be able to get this here, but interesting to hear what Siddharth Shukla has put together. Oh, what's the New York Times talking about here? I mean, I'm not going to be able to read it, but I'm curious. If anybody knows what that is, let me know. All right. So this is an interesting week. There's a lot of you've got Brian Armstrong from Coinbase. You've got Vlad from Robinhood and a couple others meeting with a lot of Senate Democrats and House Democrats this week to talk about how crypto market structure could be good. Frankly, there's a lot of younger Democrats who are totally fine with crypto, almost pro-crypto, because they're in the blockchain caucus. The blockchain caucus is with House representatives from both sides of the aisle. The problem isn't with them. It's with the people in charge. It's the people that are older that are frankly in the lobby's pockets, right? Don't get it twisted. We know what you're doing, Elizabeth Warren. We know that you're funded by banks. And banks see writing on the wall. regardless of what they've been building in secret, right? Evidence point number one, Jamie Dimon, totally poo-pooing Bitcoin and crypto, but building Onyx, which is now called Connexus, for the last 3 years for institutional crypto. But this is going to be interesting because they don't want crypto and stablecoin issuers to take away power from banks. And this is going to be the biggest trench war over the next 2 years, in my opinion, is figuring out how to get stablecoins and other digital assets to be mainstream without killing the banks. Simple as that. This will be a good one I can't read either. I have to find that and read that later. Can't read this either. Damn it. DeFi Llama. Let's go. Aave over 10% with Horizon. That's their institutional farm. Okay. Yep. Stuff we've already talked about. We'll move down here. House of Doge takes big stake in an old Italian soccer club, currently in last place. Is this like a We Are Wrexham type of thing? Anybody see that show with Ryan Reynolds? I actually enjoy that show. Never get to watch it, but what I've seen, like the couple episodes, I really enjoyed it. We already talked about a Lido staked ETH ETF. It's fine. Binance bans more than 600 accounts over quote-unquote unauthorized third-party tools. Whatever that means. Do you look at your own blockchain, Binance? Do you look at BSC? That's all I'm going to say there. The royal government of Bhutan just transferred 108.8 BT, 12 million now. It still holds this much. Yeah, Bhutan has a ton of Bitcoin. Also known as the happiest place on earth. If you guys have never been to, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Definitely on my list to bring my family for sure. Good place to also blow your knees out hiking up and down because it's also very mountainous. Oh yes, happy Diwali to everyone who celebrates. It's a beautiful time of the year, isn't it not? Well, we'll end on this, but this is an apropos. Be very careful with trying to get contact addresses or CAs, as they call them, which is the address that a token has on a particular blockchain ecosystem. They are different from chain to chain, so keep that in mind. Beware that official accounts do not endorse any specific memes. All right, CZ. If we're not gonna talk about certain things, or we're not gonna talk, we're not gonna look at the way things, if you're trying to talk about Giggle or SCI 6900 or stuff like that. No, we don't endorse specific. We just talk about them every once in a while, right? I say that in good fun. Obviously, congrats to anybody who was in those coins and they were able to get the blessing of CZ or other ones that get the blessing of certain influencers to gain huge market share. But yeah, not a whole lot on the feed today. But Well, I mean, Tether's minting lots of USDT. There's that. They've minted 6 billion in stable coins since October 11th in the last 9 days. It's a lot. Not as much as Paxos. uh, I'm not sure who's heard that story, but they accidentally minted $300 trillion in PayPal USD because they are the caretaker for them. They have their own stablecoin. It was an error, so they had to burn it. The worst part is I think they messed up on the burn too. So Machi Big Brother received 220,000 USDC from QCP Capital, deposited Hyperliquid with a long position on ETH. Liquidation price at 3,700. Brother. Please don't tell me you're taking Supreme. You probably are. I mean, the man lost 7 figures on October 9th. So, scalp coverage is now available in Coinbase Blue. Fun. That's very cheeky. That's very cheeky. I like that. That would have been a banger tweet. Okay. Well, that's what I got for you guys today. Not a whole lot left, to be honest, and it's a lot of the same. So, when we're in a situation like that, then it's time to go home. But hopefully you found good value. Again, if you happen to buy the token on base, there is going to be a snapshot taken because there's going to be a movement from my token reissued. Same token, but it'll just be against retake with a new thing, so I get more creator fees apparently. So feel free to buy some. Go free to support me on Zora as well at the DeFi Professor. Would love for you to do that. I'm going to be having more content, more video clips, more glossary things, more things to help you understand um, how DeFi works. And of course, if you want to support me, feel free to follow me on Twitter. Shout out to not that one, this one. Shout out to ex-co-host, of course. I was part of their creator program and still on the banner because most likely we'll continue on with them. But if you're looking for DeFi education through my company, feel free to join our free group, Total Value Locked. That's available at school.com/beacon. Got a ton of free content on there. If you want to be personally mentored by me, there's links to do that on there through some of our offerings. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe out there. We'll see what happens. There's some things happening. So stay safe. Don't do anything crazy. We'll see you on the next stream, which will be tomorrow. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern for our On Air with Beacon stream. And it is Beacon backed on that one. So we'll be talking about some type of, I don't think we have a guest right now. We may have a guest by the time that happens tomorrow. But we'll be talking about something related to getting into DeFi for sure. And then the flagship podcast I do, which is Total Value Locked, that's on Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Eastern. Same outlets as here. You will have a great panel on some of my favorite collaborators from across Web3 and DeFi. We'll talk about the news of the week, and maybe we'll have a new panelist on that will talk about their project, introducing them to our community. We'd love to have you as a part of that community. So please like, subscribe, follow, all that good jazz, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for working with me, guys. Have a good day. 07. Peace.